My friend, have you ever wondered why some people manage to achieve the impossible, while others, equally intelligent and talented, live lives of quiet mediocrity? Have you ever observed how certain people seem to attract opportunities like magnets, while others repel success even when it knocks at their door? The answer isn't what you think. It's not in education, it's not in connections, it's not in inherited money or luck. The answer lies in something much more powerful, something you carry within yourself at this exact moment, but which you're probably letting lie dormant. Faith. But don't misunderstand me. I'm not talking about religious faith, although that can be part of it. I'm talking about faith as the supreme creative force, faith as the invisible fuel that transforms thoughts into reality, dreams into achievements, visions into empires. Are you living a life of faith or a life of doubt? This question will determine everything you will achieve or fail to achieve in the coming years of your existence. Look around you at this moment. Everything you see, every object, every structure, every innovation began as a thought in someone's mind. But millions of people have brilliant thoughts every day. What separates those who transform thoughts into reality from those who merely dream? Faith. Absolute, unshakable faith that acts as a bridge between the invisible world of ideas and the visible world of achievements. But let me shock you with a truth that can transform your life forever. You already possess this faith. It's working in your life at this exact moment. The problem is that you're using it in the wrong direction. You have faith that you won't succeed. You have faith that things are too difficult. You have faith that success is for others, not for you. You have faith in your limitations more than in your possibilities. And this negative faith is creating exactly what you expect: failure, limitation, mediocrity. Faith is not an option in human life. You can't choose to have faith or not have faith. You can only choose in which direction to apply it. Will you apply your faith to success or failure, to abundance or scarcity, to possibilities or limitations? This choice you're making, consciously or unconsciously, every moment of your day, is shaping your reality more powerfully than any external action you could take. You want to know why people fail? Because they have more faith in failure than in success. They believe more easily in the reasons why something can't work than in the reasons why it can work. You want to know why people apparently less qualified than you achieve more? Because they have unshakable faith in their ability to find a way, even when that way isn't clear. Faith isn't about ignoring reality. Faith is about creating a new reality. Faith isn't about denying obstacles. Faith is about having absolute certainty that you can overcome them. And here's the most important part. Faith generates success, because faith modifies your perception, and your perception determines your actions, and your actions determine your results. When you have true faith in a goal, you begin to see opportunities where others see problems. You begin to find solutions where others find excuses. You begin to attract people and resources that are aligned with your vision. Why? Because faith transforms you into a magnetic force. Faith makes you radiate an energy that the universe cannot ignore. If this revelation is awakening something deep in your consciousness, if you're beginning to understand the transformative power that has always been within your reach, then it's your sacred duty to share this wisdom. Subscribe to this channel to continue receiving the teachings that can revolutionize your existence. And when you find souls that are thirsty for the truth that can free them from the mental prisons they've built themselves, share this message. For he who receives light and doesn't transmit it lives in darkness, but he who spreads it becomes a beacon that guides others out of the storm of mediocrity. Now I will reveal to you one of the most powerful secrets I discovered in my decades of studying the laws of success. Faith generates success because it activates a universal law that few understand. The law of conscious attraction. This isn't cheap mysticism or magical thinking. This is a law as real as gravity, as scientific as physics, as measurable as mathematics. When you develop true faith, three extraordinary things happen simultaneously in your life. First, your subconscious mind becomes an obedient servant to your vision. It will begin to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, seeking ways to transform your faith into reality. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined with absolute faith. When you feed your subconscious mind with clear images, charged with faith of what you desire to achieve, it accepts these images as instructions and begins to reorganize your life to make them reality. Second, Faith sharpens your perceptions supernaturally. You'll begin to notice opportunities that were always there, but which your doubting mind had filtered out as impossible or irrelevant. Faith removes the mental filters that limit your vision and opens your eyes to infinite possibilities. Third, and perhaps most important, faith transforms your personal energy. People with true faith radiate a magnetic quality that attracts collaboration, resources, and opportunities. They become human magnets for everything they need to achieve their objectives. But let me be very clear about something crucial. I'm talking about active faith, not passive faith. Passive faith is waiting for things to happen. Active faith is acting as if success were inevitable while working to ensure it. Think of the great achievers in history. Henry Ford had faith that he could create an automobile for the masses when experts said it was impossible. Thomas Edison had faith that he could capture light in a bulb when scientists ridiculed the idea. The Wright brothers had faith that man could fly when the physics of the time said otherwise. What did they all have in common? They didn't just believe. They acted based on their faith every day, even when they didn't see immediate results, even when they faced devastating criticism, even when external evidence suggested they were pursuing impossibilities. True faith is like a seed planted in fertile soil. You can't see what's happening beneath the surface, but if you keep watering it with consistent actions, if you keep nourishing it with positive thoughts, if you keep protecting it from the weeds of doubt, it will inevitably sprout and flourish. But here's what most people don't understand. Faith needs to be constantly fed. It's not a permanent state you achieve once and maintain forever. Faith is like a muscle that needs to be exercised daily, or it atrophies. How do you feed your faith? Through clear and repetitive visualization of your goals already achieved, through constant affirmation of your ability to achieve what you desire, through association with people who share your vision or who have already achieved what you seek. Through constant study of success cases that prove what you desire is possible. And here's something that might surprise you. Faith strengthens not despite obstacles, but because of them. Every challenge you face and overcome with unshakable faith makes your faith more powerful. Every door that closes and you find a window strengthens your conviction that there's always a way. True faith isn't blind. It sees obstacles clearly, but sees even more clearly the possibility of overcoming them. True faith doesn't deny current reality. It simply refuses to accept that reality as permanent. When you develop this quality of faith, you become virtually unstoppable. Because while others give up at the first difficulty, you persist with absolute certainty that you'll find a solution. While others see problems as signs to stop, you see them as puzzles to solve. Faith transforms you from a person to whom life happens into a person with whom life happens. You become an active collaborator with the universe in creating your reality, instead of a passive victim of circumstances. And now we come to the moment that will divide your life into two parts. Before and after this decision, will you choose to live a life of faith or a life of doubt? Will you use the power you've always had, or will you continue pretending you don't possess it? Because, my friend, pretending is exactly what you've been doing. You've been pretending you don't have control over your life. You've been pretending that circumstances are more powerful than your faith. You've been pretending you're a victim when in fact you're the creator. But the time for pretending is over. The time has come to assume your power, to claim your divine inheritance, to become the creative force you were born to be. Here's your command. From this moment on, you will live every day with absolute faith in the realization of your highest objectives. Not partial faith, not conditional faith. Absolute, unshakable faith that doesn't waver before obstacles, that doesn't doubt before criticism, that doesn't hesitate before the unknown. You will wake up every morning, and before even getting out of bed, you will see clearly in your mind your goals already achieved. You will feel the emotions of success already attained. You will affirm with total conviction your ability to transform visions into reality. During the day, every time doubt tries to enter your mind, you will reject it immediately and replace it with an affirmation of faith. Every time someone says something is impossible, you will use that as fuel to prove the contrary. At night, before sleeping, you will mentally review all progress made toward your goals, however small, and you will give thanks for the privilege of being a co-creator of your reality. You will study cases of people who achieved what you desire to achieve. You will read their biographies, learn their strategies, but more importantly, you will absorb their unshakable faith, Because faith is contagious. When you consistently expose yourself to others' faith, your own faith strengthens. You will surround yourself with people who believe in you and your dreams, and you will distance yourself from those who constantly sow doubts. Because your faith is too precious to be contaminated by the negativity of small minds. And when obstacles appear, and they will appear, you will not see them as signs to give up. You will see them as tests from the university of life, designed specifically to strengthen your faith and prove your determination. Remember, the universe doesn't ask if you deserve success. It only responds to the level of your faith. If you have small faith, you'll receive small results. If you have gigantic faith, you'll receive gigantic results. Faith isn't about religion. Faith is about recognizing that you are a being endowed with infinite creative power, capable of molding your reality through the force of your directed thought and persistent action. You don't need to understand how faith works for it to work. You don't need to completely comprehend universal laws to benefit from them. You just need to apply them with consistency and conviction. From today on, you are no longer a person who waits for things to happen. You are a person who makes things happen through the conscious application of the power of faith. You are no longer someone who dreams of a better future. You are someone who is actively creating that future through every thought charged with faith, every word spoken with conviction, every action taken with absolute certainty of success. The world needs your faith. The world needs the example you will give when you transform the impossible into the inevitable. The world needs to see that there are still people who believe in the infinite power that resides within every human being. If you understood the magnitude of what you just received, if you understand that this isn't just information, but transformation, then your responsibility is immense. Subscribe to this channel and become part of a community of people who are using faith to rewrite the rules of reality. And when you find someone who has lost hope, someone who has forgotten their own power, share this liberating truth. Because in a world full of doubt, your unshakable faith will be like a torch in the darkness, showing others that they too can find the way. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you have all the answers. True faith acts in the absence of evidence, works in the presence of obstacles, persists despite contrary appearances. Start now. Choose a goal that truly matters to you. See it clearly achieved in your mind. Feel the emotions of success already attained, and then act every day with absolute faith that you're on the right path. Because you are. You always have been. You just forgot. But now you remember. And once you remember your power, once you awaken to the creative force you've always had, nothing in the universe can prevent the realization of your highest dreams. And so this truth remains engraved in your consciousness forever. Carry with you these words that will echo through eternity. Faith doesn't move mountains, because mountains are special. Faith moves mountains because faith is the power through which all things were created, and you, being created in the image of the Creator, possess that same power within yourself. Use it. It's your birthright. The power of faith is now fully awakened in you. Use it to create miracles.